All right, listeners, you really sent us an interesting one this time.
Oh, yeah.
The Art of War by Master Taigong.
Classic.
An ancient Chinese military text.
Mm.
But we're not looking at the whole thing. We're
Okay.
diving deep into Chapter 44, specifically.
Okay.
Leopard strategy, sudden attack.
Sounds intense.
I know, right? Just the title had me intrigued.
Yeah, it really gets right to the point.
Doesn't it?
Dealing with a worst-case scenario.
Right.
What do you do when the enemy has already launched a surprise attack and is deep within your territory?
Not a good place to be.
No.
So we're turning to a master strategist,
Right.
Taigong, for advice.
Mhm.
Now, the chapter sets up this dialogue between King Wu, the first ruler of the Zhou dynasty, by the way,
Right.
and Taigong.
Okay.
And let me tell you,
Yeah.
King Wu sounds pretty stressed out.
Well, yeah. I mean, he has every right to be.
I guess so.
In the first scenario, the enemy has launched a full-blown raid. They've caught King Wu off guard.
Oh.
His forces are outnumbered. People are terrified. It's a situation that calls for, really clear thinking
Yeah.
and decisive action.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Taigong provides.
So let's hear it.
What does he tell King Wu to do?
Right. In the face of this, seemingly overwhelming attack.
Well, his advice might seem a little counterintuitive at first.
Oh, okay.
He tells King Wu, first of all, don't panic.
Okay.
And to recognize that the enemy's initial surge, it'll eventually lose momentum.
Okay.
They've overextended themselves,
Pushing too far.
pushing deep into enemy territory.
Yeah.
Which means their supply lines are stretched thin,
Right.
their soldiers will tire, resources dwindle, and the attack will become increasingly desperate.
So they've created their own weakness
Exactly.
by being so aggressive.
Precisely, yeah.
So Taigong sees an opportunity here.
He does, an opportunity
What is it?
to strike back.
Okay, so wait for the right moment
Yeah.
when they're vulnerable.
And then launch a counterattack.
All right, but not just charge back at them.
No, much more strategic.
Okay.
Taigong specifically recommends
Yeah.
targeting the enemy's rear.
Oh.
Hit them where they least expect it.
Okay.
Disrupt their already strained supply lines.
That makes sense.
And he even suggests
Yeah.
a very specific time for this counterattack.
Oh.
The night before a new moon.
Before a new moon.
Yeah.
Why? What's the, is there some significance to that?
Well, remember, this is ancient warfare.
Right.
No floodlights, no night vision goggles.
Right.
The darkness of a new moon would provide maximum cover for King Wu's forces, allowing them to approach the enemy's rear undetected and launch a truly surprising assault.
So it's a sneak attack
Yeah.
under the cover of night,
Exactly.
using the darkness to your advantage.
to maximize the element of surprise.
Yeah, okay.
And he doesn't stop there.
Oh. What else?
He emphasizes capturing the enemy commander.
During this attack?
Yeah, during the counter.
Okay, but why is that so important?
It's about more than just eliminating a single enemy,
Right.
although that is certainly a bonus.
Sure.
But by capturing the commander, you sow confusion
Yeah.
and chaos within the enemy ranks.
Oh, okay.
Their chain of command is disrupted, their plans are thrown into disarray, and their overall effectiveness is significantly diminished.
So it's like a,
Decapitation strike.
yeah.
It can be incredibly effective
Wow.
in turning the tide of battle.
So it's not just a physical attack.
Yeah.
It's also psychological.
You got it.
You're shaking their confidence and their ability to coordinate.
Exactly.
This is all starting to sound very familiar.
Right.
This idea of agility, deception, exploiting your opponent's weaknesses, this feels relevant.
It is, isn't it?
Even today.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of, a military context.
You're absolutely right.
It's like we're not just learning about ancient China, we're learning about strategy
Yes.
and human nature and how to get an advantage in any kind of competitive situation.
Precisely. And that's what makes Taigong's work so fascinating.
Timeless.
It really is timeless.
Yeah.
The specific tactics he describes might be ancient,
Yeah.
but the underlying principles have enduring relevance.
Okay, that's a good place to start for now.
All right.
We'll come back and dig into more of this leopard strategy soon.
Looking forward to it.
So until next time,
Take care.
see ya. So we've seen how Taigong advises King Wu to handle a full-blown assault, right?
Right.
Hit him hard and fast when they least expect it.
Yeah.
But what about a more subtle attack?
Mm-hmm.
What if the enemy is being sneaky?
That's precisely what King Wu brings up next.
Oh.
He asked Taigong, what to do if the enemy is using a more cunning, multi-pronged approach.
Okay.
Instead of one massive force, they've split their troops.
Oh, I see.
Some are pillaging villages, others gathering resources,
Okay.
while their main army is still on its way.
So they're trying to cause chaos before their main force even gets there?
It's a classic tactic of psychological warfare.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Designed to weaken the defender's resolve.
Yeah.
Make them more vulnerable to the main attack.
That's pretty sneaky.
It certainly is.
So what does Taigong say?
Well, he has an answer for this too.
Okay, good.
And it's a brilliant blend of defense and deception.
All right, I'm all ears.
First and foremost, he advises King Wu to fortify his city's defenses.
Makes sense?
Make it clear that any attempt to breach the walls will be met with fierce resistance.
Right.
But he also suggests something else.
What's that?
A show of force.
Oh.
A display of strength designed to intimidate the enemy.
So it's not just about, like, hunkering down and waiting.
Not at all.
Okay.
Taigong understands the power of perception in warfare.
Yeah.
He tells King Wu to raise banners, beat drums, display flags prominently.
So, like, project an aura of confidence. Even if you're not really feeling it.
Even if you're feeling a little shaky on the inside.
I can see how that would be effective. Yeah.
It's like a poker bluff.
Exactly.
Make them think you're stronger than you are.
Right.
But there's more.
There's more.
Right.
Taigong also recommends setting a trap for those smaller enemy forces that are out pillaging and gathering resources.
Oh, okay.
He suggests a feigned retreat.
I see where this is going.
Lure the enemy closer.
Classic.
And then unleash ambush troops for a devastating counterattack.
Lure them in and spring the trap.
Exactly.
I'm sensing a pattern here. He really likes to use surprise.
You're picking up on a key theme here.
Yeah.
This idea of a surprise assault.
Mm-hmm.
It's central to Taigong's military philosophy.
Okay.
It's about exploiting the enemy's expectations, disrupting their plans, and striking when they least expect it.
And in this case, it's not just about, like, attacking them.
Yeah.
It's surprising them with the fact that you're going to fight back at all.
Exactly.
When they think they've got you on the ropes.
Precisely. And the tactic Taigong describes.
Yeah.
This feigned retreat followed by an ambush.
It has a specific name.
Whoa.
A pincer attack.
A pincer attack.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of intense.
It is.
What is that exactly?
Well, a pincer attack is essentially a coordinated maneuver.
Okay.
Where you attack an enemy force from 2 or more directions simultaneously.
Oh, wow.
Imagine, the enemy is lured into a narrow valley.
Okay.
Or a dense forest.
All right.
They think they're pursuing a retreating force.
Yeah.
But suddenly they find themselves surrounded.
Oh, wow.
Enemy troops attacking from both sides.
I see.
So it's incredibly disorienting.
Yeah.
Demoralizing for the enemy.
Like being caught in a trap.
Exactly.
There's nowhere to go.
And that's the beauty of a well-executed pincer attack.
Yeah.
It not only inflicts heavy casualties, but also has a devastating psychological impact.
Right, right.
Shattering the enemy's morale, making them question their ability to win.
So Taigong, he was a master of using, both physical and psychological tactics.
Absolutely.
To get the win.
And what's fascinating is that these principles he outlined centuries ago, they're still relevant today.
Still relevant.
Even outside the realm of warfare.
I was going to say, this pincer attack idea, it feels like you could apply that to a lot of different situations.
Could be.
Where you need to outmaneuver an opponent or, gain a strategic advantage.
Absolutely. Like, imagine you're in a business negotiation.
Okay. Yeah.
And the other side is playing hardball.
Right.
Trying to push you into a corner.
So a pincer attack approach might involve presenting them with 2 seemingly unattractive options.
Yeah.
Trapping them between a rock and a hard place.
Right. And while they're busy weighing their options, you swoop in with a third, more favorable proposition.
That they'll be more likely to accept.
Exactly.
So you're using their indecision against them.
It's all about understanding the psychology of your opponent.
Okay.
Anticipating their moves and using their own momentum against them.
I like it.
And those are valuable skills, whether you're on a battlefield or in a boardroom.
We've covered some fascinating stuff.
We have.
From surprise rear assaults to pincer attacks. I mean,
it's incredible.
The strategic thinking in warfare centuries ago.
Yeah.
But something you said earlier really struck me.
Oh, yeah.
That these ancient principles still apply today, even outside of military situations.
Right.
What did you mean by that?
Well, what's fascinating about Taigong's Art of War is that it's not just a manual on how to win battles.
Right.
It's a deep exploration of of human psychology.
Okay.
How people react under pressure. How leverage those reactions to your advantage.
So not just physical tactics.
No.
But understanding how the mind works.
Exactly.
Your own and your opponents.
Yeah, and that's where the concept of surprise assault warfare becomes really interesting.
Okay.
We've talked about how it works on a battlefield.
Right.
But how can this mindset be applied in other areas of life?
Yeah, how, like in business or even personal relationships?
Sure, let's take the business world.
Okay.
A tough negotiation. Often both sides come to the table with a set of assumptions.
Yeah.
They expect things to unfold in a certain way.
Right.
They have their prepared arguments, their fallback positions.
Right. It becomes pretty predictable.
It can. Yeah.
It can become predictable.
And that's where the element of surprise can be so powerful.
So how do you use it?
By doing something unexpected.
Okay.
By breaking free from those predictable patterns.
Right.
You disrupt the whole dynamic.
Okay.
You force the other side to reevaluate their assumptions.
Yeah.
And that can give you a huge advantage.
So shake things up a little bit.
Exactly. It can be something as simple as making a bold offer.
Okay.
One they weren't expecting.
Right.
Or revealing a piece of information that changes their whole perspective on the deal.
I say disrupt their thinking.
Force them to react.
Instead of them dictating the terms.
Exactly. You're taking control of the narrative.
I like that.
Setting the pace.
Yeah.
Instead of just following along.
And this applies to personal relationships too.
It does.
How so?
Well, sometimes we get stuck in routines.
Yeah.
Predictable patterns of behavior with our loved ones.
You can kind of get complacent.
We become complacent.
And take things for granted.
Exactly. And that's where a little bit of surprise assault thinking can be incredibly helpful.
Okay.
Not in a manipulative way, of course.
Right, right.
But in the sense of shaking things up, doing something unexpected to rekindle the spark.
Show them you care.
Show the other person that you're still paying attention, that you still care.
Yeah, this is all starting to make sense.
Good.
It's not about being aggressive or deceptive.
It's about being adaptable.
Thinking outside the box.
And finding ways to create positive change.
Yeah, even in unexpected ways.
You've got it.
So Taigong's Leopard strategy, it's not just about military tactics.
It's a mindset.
It's a way of approaching life.
With a sense of strategic awareness.
And a willingness to embrace the unexpected.
Exactly.
This has been an awesome deep dive.
It has.
We started with an ancient Chinese military text, and we ended up exploring the very essence of strategic thinking.
And its applications in all aspects of life.
Pretty amazing, huh?
It just goes to show that even the most ancient wisdom can still hold powerful lessons for us today.
Absolutely. And on that note, we'll leave you with one final thought to ponder.
Okay.
As you navigate the challenges and opportunities in your own life, remember the power of surprise.
Use it wisely.
Use it wisely.
Ethically.
And maybe even on yourself every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
To break free from those comfortable routines.
Good idea.
And unlock your full potential.
I like that.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
See you next time.